Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm 8 Flame, and welcome back to Flame Reacts. Today, we're going to be continuing where we left off on Ashes in Its Wake by Obab Scribbler. Like I said, if you want to check out the whole entire 1-hour audio drama, the link is going to be in the description below. So, let's get this started again, and I don't know what I'm going to be expecting at the end of this story. So I made it here this far, so let's get this started in 3, 2, 1, and let's go.
Apple bloom. Apple bloom. Apple bloom. Apple bloom. Apple bloom. Apple bloom. Apple bloom.
Apple Bloom turned her head further into the warmth of her pillow.
5 more minutes.
Apple bloom, you gotta wake up.
But it ain't even a school day.
Wake up.
With a sigh, she sat up.
Why you always gotta rise so early, even on a Saturday?
Her breath caught in her throat.
Wake up.
Applejack stared
What
at
the
her
fuck?
with oily black eyes. Her hat was missing. That did not arrest Apple Bloom's attention as much as the fact that half her head was also missing. Raw brain matter oozed down her sister's neck from the fissures in the back of her skull. Black liquid dripped onto the floorboards. Apple Bloom stared, horrified.
Applejack?
Apple bloom.
Applejack's jaw swung, clearly broken. She took a step forward, but fell, legs too shattered to hold her up.
Applejack!
Before she could think better of it, Apple Bloom threw back her covers and dashed to her sister's side. She cradled Applejack's head in her lap, heedless of the wet squish of raw flesh against her hooves.
What happened?
A door burst open. Big Mac, Sugar Belle, and Granny Smith all fell into the room. Their bodies were stained with black moss and twisted with vines that held their legs at odd angles. 3 sets of oily black eyes stared at Apple Bloom.
You can't save us, Sugar Cube, but you can save yourself.
I don't understand.
You gotta wake up, little sis. If you don't, you die. Please don't die. If you do, my sacrifice meant nothing.
What?
Wake up. Wake up!
Applejack clamped her broken forehooves around Apple Bloom's head and pressed their faces together. Her breath stank of rotten meat and salt water.
Wake up!
Say hello to Sara Lee Half Loaves. Half the loaf, all the love.
Of course I can't skip.
Hey, where are you? I'm on my way.
I can't skip that one.
Apple Bloom gasped awake, face pressed against wet rocks. With the return of consciousness came a multitude of aches and pains. For a few moments, she just blinked, mind still tumbling over and over. She remembered her dream, Applejack, her family, the river, starlight glimmer, the manticore, the seed.
The seed!
She shot upright.
Ow!
Pain radiated up her left foreleg. She did not have to be a medical expert to tell it was broken. The bone stood out at an odd angle, bulging under her pelt. When she tried to stand, nausea squeezed her stomach. She settled for limping on 3 legs as she cast around to see where she was. Her mouth dropped open. She had washed up near the castle of the 2 sisters. It loomed on the cliff above like an angry god riding a thundercloud. Creeping over the broken walls were thick black roots, gnarled branches and vines studded with thorns. Rot oozed down the brickwork. Though she could not see beyond the walls from down here at the river's edge, Apple Bloom knew that the Tree of Harmony lay within. The Tree of Harmony. It seemed too unreal to even think. She had thought, they had all thought, that the rot had been responsible for everything. Instead, It seemed the tree itself was pulling the strings and had created the rot, which had in turn devastated Equestria and killed most, if not all, of its citizens. But how? And more importantly, why? The Tree of Harmony was Equestria's protector. It had always acted in defense of ponykind. Why had it now turned on them?
Applejack and Twilight saved the tree so many times. And it killed them both. It killed the students who remade it into the treehouse with the power of their friendship. It killed everyone without remorse.
A flash of light caught her attention. A little further off lay her saddlebags. She limped over and saw they were thankfully still safely buckled. Inside the bag, light pulsated.
Help me. What the?
It talks?
Applebloom startled.
Please, help me.
Oh, hell no. The fucking seed talks. What? Hold up. That's fucking crazy. It talked. It fucking talked. What is this? Oh, now it's not playing.
She backed away. Was this another trick? Had she become contaminated by the rot and was now hearing the tree's voice in her mind like Starlight, Sunburst, and Zecora?
Please, you've brought me this far. I need you to take me just a bit further.
Begged the strange voice. It sounded high and fluty, like a child's.
Tarnation? Open the saddlebag, little one. I promise I hold no ill will toward you or ponykind, but I need your help.
Slowly, cautiously, Applebloom crept closer. The fabric of the saddlebag was sodden with river water and heavy to lift. When she did, the crystallized seed rolled out and almost fell back into the river. She let out a hiss of pain as she jerked to catch it in her one good forehoof. It felt like touching the center of a pony's chest and feeling a heartbeat. Instinctively, Applebloom tossed both the seed and saddlebags away from her onto the shore. She examined her hoof for rot.
No, please, don't throw me away. Not after you've brought me so far. What are you? I'm a seed. Well, duh.
Fucking seed.
A little of her old sass slipped into her tone. It felt good, familiar. She held on to the feeling and set her feet.
What's your angle? To help the Tree of Harmony.
Instant distrust suffused Applebloom. She turned away.
I ain't helping you. Wait, please! No! The Tree of Harmony took everything from me. It's told my family, my home, my friends. Why the heck would I help you with that horrible thing? Because it's sick. It needs to be helped. Bullshit! I'm telling the truth. My entire purpose is to bring new life to the world. I'm a seed. That's what seeds do. We grow and infuse the earth with new life and purpose. The Tree of Harmony has grown old and sick. It has outlived its time and become diseased. When trees become diseased, ponies cut them down to stop the rot from spreading, and they plant new saplings to replenish the earth. Sunburst, Zecora, and Starlight Glimmer knew this. They knew what I could do. That's why they were bringing me to Twilight Sparkle as leader, so she could ensure I get to fulfill my purpose. I am the first Tree of Harmony seed in over 1,000 years, and will be the last for 1,000 more. We are a rare, ancient species.
I want to be rich.
Wishing for more money? All you need is your phone. No, go to...
The old tree knows that its time is done. It sensed I was born. It knows the cycle of life and death. But it is resisting. It wants to live forever. But that is not how nature works. That is not how harmony works.
The crystal's eerie glow pulsated in the corner of Applebloom's vision. She wavered. Zecora and Sunburst had indeed thought the seed could fix things, and Zecora had told her to plant it. But Sunburst had told her to burn it. What if the seed got corrupted with the rot too? What if this just made everything worse? Applebloom clenched her jaw, river water dripping down her face.
If you do not let me help the Tree of Harmony, its reach will grow. The rot will spread beyond Equestria's borders. There will be no stopping it. The Tree of Harmony would rather see all Equestria's creatures become part of it forever than accept its end. It will drink the life of every creature it can to achieve that goal. Think, child, you are logical. You can see that I'm right.
Why didn't you tell me any of this before?
Sunburst protected me in this crystal spell to keep me safe from the rot. It was not until this protection was cracked against the riverbed that I was able to speak to you.
Applebloom looked at the thing. Indeed, a large crack ran its length now that had not been there before. River water leaked out.
The rot cannot tolerate running water. I've been doused in the river and yet I am still here. Does that not convince you?
She wanted to believe. Celestia, damn it, she wanted to believe the strange voice was telling the truth. But it was too convenient, too easy. Just bring the seed to the Tree of Harmony and zip, boom, bang, everything would be fixed. Everything and everyone back to normal, and they all danced off into the sunset, hoof in hoof.
No, child. I cannot bring back the lives that the rot has already taken.
What?
But I can stop it spreading any further. I can end this nightmare. With your help. Please.
You really can end it? You can stop the rot? You can stop the Tree of Harmony from killing any pony else?
You won't end anything.
Who said that?
You will be ended.
Applebloom looked up to see two ponies hobbling toward her. They were stuck through with what looked like enormous black thorns that distorted their limbs into unnatural angles, and black moss covered most of what was left. But she could still recognize them.
Fluttershy.
She whispered.
Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow Dash's jaw hung at an odd angle, having been partly torn off when the enormous vines speared upward through her chest from behind. Her wings, once her pride and joy, were twisted beyond use and more like a mossy black cape that draped around her now. Her oily black eyes ran with rot that dripped onto her dangling jaw, coating her teeth and tongue. By contrast, Fluttershy's wings stood upright, as if she was trying to intimidate a wild beast with her stare. Her oily black eyes were so wide that her lower lids seemed to dangle off her face where they had been ripped by thorns. A gaping wound marked where her kind heart once beat in her chest. Now, only rot pulsed there. Applebloom's empty stomach heaved at the sight.
Don't be stupid, Apple Blossom.
Not Fluttershy hissed.
You've made so many mistakes already. Don't add to the list now. Twilight thought you were intelligent, but there's been little evidence of that so far.
Give us the seed.
Rasped the thing that was once Rainbow Dash.
It is ours by right.
On impulse, Applebloom scooped up the seed and held it close.
If you want it, then you definitely shouldn't have it.
Oh, look. She's trying to use reverse psychology. How pathetic. Stupid little Appleshed thinks she can outthink a centuries-old font of wisdom. Pathetic.
Applebloom flinched. That wasn't Fluttershy, but it sounded so much like the gentle Pegasus that it was painful to hear.
We were an expert in magic before your ancestors were even born, whelp.
Not Rainbow Dash bit out.
We taught generations of ponies what we knew. We gave them everything we could. We sacrificed our very self for them. We gave them our mind, our body, our powers, our loved ones, all to safeguard them in their fledgling nation. But it was never enough. First, those princesses stole our gemstones and rendered us inert for a millennia. Then you ponies ignored everything we tried to teach you once they finally were returned to us. Then, You let us be destroyed by that idiot Sombra. After all we've done for you, you let us be demolished like we were nothing but a common pine or oak. And you left us to rot down in that cave until we had to call for help.
We used to be honored.
Not Fluttershy spat.
When we were first new, ponies revered us. Now you live your selfish little lives and never think to ask us for our advice or opinion. Just drain us of our magic and resources whenever you feel the need. You break the covenant between pony and nature. You invite outsiders to live in our land and grant them privileges like they're worthy. Equestria was built for ponies. We protected it from outsiders for the benefit of pony kind. And you stupid idiots not only let them in, you welcomed them.
Love-sucking changelings. Ignorant yaks. Money-grubbing minotaurs. Idiotic dragons. Isolationist hippogriffs. Even meat-eating griffins. You invite the very creatures that would slit your throat and butcher you for food to sit at your tables. It is an insult to everything we have sacrificed for you.
That kind of offense can't go unpunished.
Introducing a new budget-friendly plan for just $39.99 a month for 12 months. Get HughesNet today.
Sounds good right by now, but I'm not hungry.
Apple Bloom reeled under the tirade.
It's the old tree talking, not the ones you knew as Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy,
said the voice in her head. Not Fluttershy bared her teeth.
You're outmatched, Applechet. You have no place else to go. You have no one else to save you this time.
Everyone you ever knew is our vessel. Or dead, like your pathetic sister.
A waste of a pony with a wasteful death.
Give us the seed.
Not Rainbow Dash flexed her ruined wings.
Or else.
Apple Bloom glared, her hatred stoked back up. Or else what? What else could they possibly take from her?
Fuck you!
With a shriek, the two former ponies hurled themselves at her. Apple Bloom shoved the crystal between her teeth and scooped up river water to splash at them. Their shrieks took on a new timbre as their corrupted flesh sizzled. When Not Rainbow Dash reared back, Apple Bloom took the opportunity to dart past her. Not Fluttershy whirled, head tilted to bare her rot-slick teeth. Apple Bloom hucked one of the bottles of potion ingredients at her face. It smashed, pieces of glass embedding in her eyes.
You little bastard! You'll pay for your impudence!
Not Fluttershy stumbled back onto the rocky outcropping upon which Apple Bloom had washed up. Apple Bloom rushed forward and kicked hard at the outcropping. It crumbled. Not Fluttershy plunged into the water. Her cry became high and keening as she was swept away, flesh peeling off. Her noise ended only when her head submerged and did not come up again.
Give us that seed!
The thing that used to be Rainbow Dash turned and chased Apple Bloom, oily black eyes shining with temper. Apple Bloom ran, but her 3 legs were wobbly and she soon lost ground. She clambered over rocks, trying to put them between her and the ground-bound Pegasus. Still, she heard Not Rainbow Dash's ragged breaths getting closer with every step.
Applejack! Twilight Sparkle! Help me!
She thought desperately. As if on cue, her wet hoof skidded on a flat rock. Apple Bloom's legs went out from under her, and she landed with a heavy thump, tumbling down the incline up which she had been climbing.
You can't stop us! We are everywhere!
Not Rainbow Dash loomed over her, mouth wide, black spittle flying when she spoke.
We are everything! You will know your place, you ungrateful little pony!
She brought her rot-covered hoof down, straight at Apple Bloom's face. There was no way to dodge this time. Apple Bloom screwed her eyes shut, waiting for the final blow. Between her teeth, the seed pulsed hot. Rainbow Dash screeched in agony. Apple Bloom's eyes flew open. Rainbow Dash's foreleg was gone. All that was left was an ashy stump. The Pegasus stumbled back, staring at where her leg used to be. When she looked back at Apple Bloom, her gaze fastened on the seed, and her expression morphed into one of pure rage.
I won't let you replace me! My time is not done yet! I sacrificed too much and lost too much of my lifetime to let you take over now!
The seed pulsed hot once again. Apple Bloom saw a beam of bright white light shoot from her own mouth. It enveloped the thing that used to be Rainbow Dash, whose entire distorted body was thrown into sharp relief for a moment. When that moment ended and the light faded, there was nothing left of her. Apple Bloom stared. She spat the seed crystal into her hoof. It was vaguely warm to the touch, but did not burn her.
I need your help, child,
said the voice in her head once again.
I am getting stronger, but I am still not strong enough for what must be done. Help me end this. Get me to the Tree of Harmony.
Filled with fresh determination, Apple Bloom nodded.
Whoa, that's crazy.
The castle of the two sisters was overrun with rot. Apple Bloom stood atop a boulder to avoid the stuff, staring up at seemingly impenetrable walls. They were so covered in dripping black plant life that she could no longer see the stonework. Most of the gaps had been choked by thorny vines, but she could still see the Tree of Harmony beyond. Its previous transformation into the treehouse had rendered it larger than before, but now it stood even larger still. Its branches had become twisted appendages rammed against the crumbling walls, and its roots thrust up out of the ground like legs trying to walk in quicksand. Everything was covered in moss and spikes, including the vines that whipped around in the air. Apple Bloom could see pieces of blackened meat mixed with tufts of yellow and cyan fur where Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy had been impaled. Though they had ripped themselves free to come and try to steal the seed from her, there were still pieces of other ponies and creatures who had ventured too close. It did not escape her attention that the tree had apparently crowned itself with the bodies of its perceived enemies. It was still surreal to realize the Tree of Harmony thought ponies were its enemies. Apple Bloom shivered.
I can't get no closer.
Her voice came out a breathy whisper. She tensed, waiting for the tree to react. Luckily, it seemed it could not hear her from this distance.
I am still too far away.
The seed's ghostly voice bounced off the insides of her skull.
I can do nothing from here.
If the rock gets me, it's all over. For me, for you, for all of Equestria.
A toasty Thomas's brekkie. Oh.
Thanks, Tom.
Huzzah!
I ain't strong enough to fight it off and stay myself. I ain't Twilight Sparkle, or Sunburst, or Zakora, or Starlight Glimmer, or Applejack.
Her sister's name was more a strangled exhalation than an actual word. So many lives lost. So many good ponies gone.
You are stronger than you think, child.
The voice interrupted her spiraling thoughts. Sourness budded inside her.
You don't know me.
I am literally inside of your head right now. I can sense your core self. It shines bright as a star, hot as the center of a flame, sturdy as heartwood. You are strong, much stronger than you realize.
I ain't sure I want you poking about in my head.
I will not go anywhere I am not wanted, child. I need your help too much for me to cross or break your trust. I need you to get me to the tree. If you do not, then all is lost. All who have sacrificed themselves to protect me and you will have done so in vain.
A flicker of Twilight's smile, tight with pain, flashed through Applebloom's thoughts. She remembered the sound of Zecora's scream, of Sunburst's laboured breathing, and Starlight Glimmer smashing her face open on the ground as she fought the rot from taking her over. Still, the logistics remained.
And how exactly do you suggest I get you to the tree? I don't got no wings nor horn, so I can't fly you over the rot or teleport across it. All I got is 3 good hooves, and the moment one of them touches the rot, I'm screwed. I'm covered in cuts from the forest and my dip in the river.
If you can get me close enough, you can throw me. I saw how accurately you threw that potion bottle. But first, you have to remove the protective spell Sunburst and Starlight Glimmer laid over me. It has kept me safe so far, but now it is inhibiting what I need to do.
And that is?
Crow, I must take the place of the old tree. Only then can I undo the harm it has done.
Couldn't you do that if I planted you in any old patch of ground?
No, a tree of harmony has existed in this place for millennia. Thus has it always been, thus must it always be. That was why I was supposed to be taken to Twilight Sparkle. Her alicorn magic seemed the surest way of taking me directly to the tree.
You're pretty verbal for a little baby seed.
Applebloom's mouth twisted.
Sweetie Belle would say you're loquacious. She always did like big fancy words like that. Scoots and I used to make fun of her for it.
Tears beaded in her eyes. She swiped them away. 2 more lives the rot had stolen. 2 more ponies whose deaths she had to honor by stopping the rot from spreading beyond Equestria's borders.
Inside every seed is the potential for a life well lived. I am what shall be, and what was before me, and what shall come after me, all at once. For I am potential, and hopes and dreams for the future I may bring.
Yeah.
Applebloom turned the crystal over awkwardly. Being 3-legged was more difficult than she might have thought.
How do I get you out of this thing anyhow? I remind you there ain't no horn on my head, though I'm pretty good with potions if you got one.
No need. Simply break it open. Careful though, crack the crystal, not me. Once you extract me from my protection, I will be vulnerable. It will be imperative for you to get me to the tree however you can, as fast as you can. My light will become a beacon, drawing the tree's puppets to destroy me, just as they did at the riverbank. If I am gone, there can be no hope, and the tree will run rampant, even more than it has done already, with no one and nothing to oppose it.
This cord is still in the wind.
No, the seed said softly.
He is not.
In his pocket dimension, then.
Applebloom insisted.
You really think he stayed there while his precious Fluttershy lay dying on the tree's thorns?
Applebloom's lips pursed. If not even Discord, Celestia, or Luna could stand against what the tree had become, what chance did she have?
You said you can undo the rot if an pony ain't dead yet?
Yes.
So, if I were to run into the castle of the 2 sisters and huck you with the tree, and got rot on me in the process, you could undo that?
Yes, the rot is the product of the Tree of Harmony's pain and desire to maintain. When I grow in its place, I will wipe all that away if it has not progressed too far.
Applebloom swallowed. Her throat felt suddenly dry.
Okay then, I guess that's as good a plan as I got, given the circumstances. You say I just gotta break this crystal open?
Yes.
And suddenly you ain't so loquacious.
I am aware of the enormity of the decision you are making, John. I was showing deference.
Yeah, well, I ain't certain I'm doing the right thing. But as a wise pony once told me, bravery ain't about being certain you're doing the right thing. It's about choosing to do something and then following through on your choice. Courage of your convictions.
Your sister was indeed a wise pony.
She was. I loved her a lot.
Let's go, boys! One thing I've noticed about football fans is they all talk like the players can actually hear.
Apple Bloom clenched her jaw, put the crystal down on the rock, and stamped on it with her good forehoof. It wasn't a good stamp, but it provoked a crack in the crystal's surface. Light eked out, ethereal and pale. She stamped again, putting as much of her remaining strength into it as she could. The crystal cracked again.
One more time,
the seed urged.
then run as fast as you can.
Apple Bloom reared up.
This one's for Applejack!
She brought her body down hard. The crystal split into two pieces like the halves of a walnut shell. From it rolled a teardrop-shaped item that glowed with the same ethereal light that had shone through the cracks. It was nowhere near as bright as Apple Bloom had been expecting based on the blast that had incinerated Rainbow Dash.
I used up most of my power saving you from her. Hurry, child. There isn't much time.
Nodding grimly, Apple Bloom picked up the seed between her teeth. It zinged into her gums a little, like biting onto tinfoil, but otherwise, it felt like biting into one of the bulbs Sugarbelle had started planting in hanging baskets on the farmhouse porch after she moved into Sweet Apple Acres. Apple Bloom tried not to think about the last time she had seen the farm, all covered in thorny vines, the farmhouse too swamped for anyone inside to have survived. Instead, she faced forward, fixed her eyes on a gap in the wall, leapt down from the rock, and ran. It was hard on three legs, but she was an apple, and apples did not give up just because of injury. She summoned the faces of her sister, her brother, her grandmother, her friends, and all the other ponies lost to the Tree of Harmony's madness and corruption. She used their memories to force her legs forward, faster and faster, leaping over roots that stirred at her approach and vines that lashed out as she passed. She had her conviction now, and the courage to stick to it. She was nearly at the castle, nearly through the wall.
I'm gonna make it!
The tree was not far past the wall, just inside the courtyard where the students from the School of Friendship had converted it into a treehouse. How beneficent the tree had seemed back then. Who could have guessed things would turn out like this? Pouring every scrap of energy she had into her legs, ignoring the aches and pains that screamed at her to stop running, Apple Bloom thundered on, single-minded, until she had reached her goal. She was through. She dived through the gap and landed awkwardly inside the castle courtyard.
What the hell was that?
Pain erupted in her shoulder, driving deep. Suddenly, she was rocketing sideways, tumbling end over end, until she fetched up in a heap of something soft and spongy. And dark. And oily.
Oh no.
No!
She was in an enormous patch of mossy, black rot.
No!
Apple Bloom flailed. The rot clung like the fungus it was. Fronds stuck to her haunches and belly even when she lifted them off the ground. She stumbled, scraping at herself, but it was too late.
Look out!
A flicker of movement in the corner of her eye. Apple Bloom whirled, hooves leaving black stains on the flagstones. She dodged the enormous spiked vine, swinging around for a second strike. More vines undulated, all leading back to the column of corruption at their center.
Move, child!
The Tree of Harmony, once so beautiful that it had taken Pony's breath away, was now a nightmarish pillar of blackened bark and roiling magic that made Apple Bloom gasp around the seed in her mouth. Twice the size of the treehouse, it throbbed with malevolent power that even an earth pony could feel. Its once crystalline surface was now a mixture of bark, rot, and pulsating meat that looked like ponies had been turned inside out and staked out to dry against the wood.
Sweet Celestia.
Child, you must move!
Apple Bloom's thoughts stuttered. There was something so inherently wrong in what she was seeing that her brain momentarily locked up and she could do nothing but stare. She watched, thunderstruck, as corpses of ponies and other creatures jittered atop the tree where they were impaled, hooves, claws, and paws all reaching for her and her precious cargo, while oily black eyes glared down at her.
Apple Bloom, move!
The scream of the seed inside her mind broke her reverie. She moved. She did, but not fast enough.
Oh no!
Another vine caught her across her withers, sending her spinning. Bright, hot agony drove into her chest behind her bad foreleg. It got worse as she rolled, lodging the snapped-off thorn deeper into her little body. It hurt so much, too much. She could not help herself. She screamed.
Introducing a new budget-friendly plan for just $39.99 a month for 12 months. Get HughesNet today.
Walmart's fashion gifts were quite the treat.
How about something trendy and chic?
The seed fell from her mouth.
Oh!
Apple Bloom instinctively threw out her bad foreleg, but fumbled, fresh pain radiating from her injury. The seed hit the flagstones and bounced.
No, 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 no!
She dived, skidding on her belly, heedless of the rot through which she was sliding. Her good hoof closed awkwardly around the seed.
Yes!
All she had to do now was throw it at the tree and... A blast of magical cyan fire consumed Apple Bloom's foreleg. She did not scream this time. Shock froze her lungs. The fire consumed the seed.
No!
It shriveled and collapsed inward in a burst of white, hot cinders. So did her hoof.
Did you really think we would not be prepared for you coming here? Stupid, pathetic filly.
Apple Bloom looked up, too stricken to fully absorb what she was seeing. Above her, a mangled mess of yellow fur and feathers flapped against the red sky. Apparently, Starlight Glimmer had been only partially right about the rot and running water. The river had sheared off masses of Fluttershy's flesh, and what was left was being held together with moss and bark. A white skull, accentuated by crawling black wood, gleamed down at Apple Bloom. In her forelegs, she carried a tangled mess of meat and cyan magical aura. Starlight Glimmer had no eyes left, but if she had, they would have been opaque black with rot.
Do you think us stupid, Apple Bloom?
Starlight Glimmer asked.
Of course we allowed you to come to us. You brought us what we wanted, and even took it out of its protective crystal for us. At least you were useful for something.
Apple Bloom's gaze returned to what was left of her own foreleg. Starlight's magic had reduced it to nothing but ashes, and the seed with it. Smoke filled her nose, a sharp, bitter taste in the back of her throat. It tasted like defeat.
Give up.
Not Fluttershy rasped, throat so devastated she sounded more like Rainbow Dash than her old self anymore.
You've lost Apple Blossom. All of Ponykind will become part of the forest. All the interlopers who should have never been allowed to live here will become food for the Everfree. Everything will reset back to the beginning. Only then can the world be healed. When all are one, and one is us, then we will all know true harmony at last. And there will be no need for any tree. We 7 will be the last to make the sacrifice for the good of Ponykind. Forever!
No.
Apple Bloom whispered.
All will know true harmony.
Starlight echoed.
I'm not gonna lie, if I was gonna say, all shall know pain. I've been watching too much Naruto, I swear.
Even you.
Sudden heaviness pressed down on Apple Bloom's mind. It tasted of darkness and malice. Her shoulder burned. Her veins sang with the rot racing through them. Something alien and ancient scraped at her thoughts. It tugged at her soul, shredding the edges. Her whole body hurt with a new, unimaginable kind of pain.
Let us in,
child.
Starlight and Fluttershy said in unison.
There's so much better if you do not resist. Your pain will be swift and temporary, but you will know nothing more.
Oh!
Apple Bloom gasped, pushing against the pain, but it was crushing in its power. The weight of hundreds of years of raw, primal magic pushed against her. Applebloom felt her sense of self already beginning to buckle. She was so tired. The rot. No, the Tree of Harmony itself, the heart of Equestria, not some external force from outside their borders, clawed at her mind, feeding on her doubts, her exhaustion, her fear.
No!
It drank down her hatred and came back for more. She felt it gnawing at her very essence.
No! Please, no!
You will give in.
The tree seeped into her mind. Not the soft presence of the seed, but a bulldozing force that smashed through her walls to chase her down.
You will give in, or you will die. That is the only choice. Don't be selfish. Don't be like your sister. Do the right thing. Become one with us. Give up your life force for us to consume.
Get out of my head!
A single voice slid around and over the rest of her loved ones, stolen and puppeteered by this thing that had once safeguarded Equestria. The voice sounded like it might have been friendly once, before time and resentment took their toll.
You will give in, Applebloom, just as all others have. Just as I did 1,000 years ago. Sacrifice is inevitable. You are young, but you will learn that fact. It is too late. It was always too late. It will always be too late. That is the nature of harmony.
Please. Please. No.
I begged too back then. I begged and pleaded for it to not be so. I did not want to die either. I had plans. I had a life I wanted to live. I wanted to settle down and make a family. But I did what needed to be done for the sake of harmony. I saw the truth in the end, and you will too.
Hey, it's me, your very dry skin. I'm uncomfortable and need extra hydration.
Strange lumps roiled under the tree's bark. They moved like bugs under skin until each one burst open in a shower of black liquid. A horde of purple eyes swiveled to stare down at Applebloom, their combined gaze a near physical force.
I gave up everything for Equestria. I sacrificed everything I was and everything I ever could be. I sacrificed those I cared about most in this wretched world. I made choices no one else could live with to ensure others lived at all. And what was my reward? To have my elements stolen, drained, and kept from me for a millennia. To be deprived of them even when the magic was restored. To be left to rot in the Everfree, powerless and alone. Forgotten by the very ponies I sacrificed so much to protect. And when I was finally awoken from my deep slumber, and my elements finally returned to me, it was to find a world made filthy by technology and progress. Non-ponies walked the land like they had any right to be here. Ponies bowed to griffins, changelings, yaks, and all manner of lesser beings. They built monuments to their own glory and lived in towers of glass and metal that are an insult to the natural world I sought to protect when I became us. Became me, the Tree of Harmony, the protector of pony kind. And then, insult of insults, I was murdered by a despot who should have been ended long ago, and had to use what little magic I had left to reforge myself in one last effort to be here for Equestria and its denizens, so I could help them achieve harmony. And yet, despite everything I have done, all the time I have lost, and all I have sacrificed. My replacement was born to replace me. Well, I refuse. For once, I refuse to bend fate and allow all I and we have become to be pushed aside so easily. My sacrifices will not be so disregarded!
The tree's voice echoed in Applebloom's head, bouncing off the walls of her skull and thrumming through her brain until every neuron reverberated with them. She tried to use memories of her loved ones to power her resolve once more, but thoughts of Applejack, Twilight, and all the others who had given her their strength before now flashed through her mind, robbing her of that same strength. They were all lost, weren't they? Everything she had fought for, everything she had tried to protect, was gone. There really was no point in fighting, was there? The rot was already inside her. It was unstoppable. No pony had ever survived being touched by it. Without the seed, there was no hope for any pony. She should just give in.
This is not the end.
The words came so softly that Applebloom almost missed them under the cacophony of the voices from the tree's victims. She recognized it. But the seed was gone, burnt up. She had seen it, felt it sear away with her own flesh. The ashy remnants of the seed swirled in the air around her. She coughed, trying to clear her lungs, but it only seemed to make the pressure in her chest worse. Her breath came in ragged gasps, lungs tight with every inhale. Pain from the thorn in her flesh pulsed through her midriff. Even if the rot did not get her, she would die soon. She should just give up already.
Child, no, I shall use your real name. You are Applebloom. You are you. You are still you.
Her eyes opened. She had not even realized they were closed.
But you're gone.
Not entirely. I am so sorry, child. I wish I was done asking you to help me, but there is one last thing I must beg of you.
Can't be here.
Applebloom muttered deliriously, unsure if she was speaking aloud or just in her own mind.
It was all burned up.
Fire can damage the Tree of Harmony, but not fully destroy it. It can reformat itself with the right catalyst. 6 students at the School of Friendship reformed the current tree when Sombra destroyed it. It endured, though in a different form. Just as Harmony can endure in different forms from generation to generation.
You know, I've always found it strange. People really want to save money, but are so willing to toss their hard-earned coin in.
No.
Only the seed of a new tree can truly depose the old one. The tree knows this.
But you're talking to me. So you ain't dead?
No, but I am not truly alive either. I'm the ash in your lungs. I'm the dust in the air. I'm the embers settling on your wound. I cannot be planted anymore, not as I am. I have so little magic left that it is taking everything I have to do this much. I am so sorry, Applebloom. I wanted very much to fulfill my purpose, grow and heal you from the rot. But it seems I must ask you for more than I should have to ask any pony. At least, last time it was not a child who was asked to sacrifice so much.
I understand.
The tree's dark presence coiled around her mind, looking for weakness to break through and overtake her.
You must be my host, Applebloom. My physical state can no longer be planted, but I can plant my essence inside you and merge with yours. Without you, I will die, and the old tree will win. It will live on beyond its natural lifespan and grow more twisted and evil as time goes on. It has already started to mutate and revert partially back to its host state. it will become more changed if left unchecked. I need you to help me live so that I may stop it.
Apple Bloom blinked, still trying to wrap her head around what the seed was saying.
Equestria needs you. I need you. Please, Apple Bloom.
The voice became more pleading, desperate, more like a child looking for reassurance than a beneficent force of primal magic.
I'm just a kid. I can't do this all alone. I tried already and I screwed it up.
You are not alone. Not anymore. Together, we can stop this. All of it. I need you, Apple Bloom. I can't grow without you. Harmony requires balance between seed and host. You are my heartwood. But I cannot grow within you against your will. That is not how the magic works. You must willingly agree to become a part of Harmony.
This has happened before, hasn't it?
Yes.
The current Tree of Harmony was a pony once too, wasn't it?
Yes.
Who was it?
She was known as Clover the Clever, before she became one with her seed. She sacrificed herself to become her seed's host, and sacrificed her friends and her own lover to create the stones you know as the elements of Harmony. If her seed had been allowed to grow naturally, there would have been no need for such sacrifice. Alas, her seed was also damaged, and Clover did what was necessary to save it, so that Equestria may have a protector.
Did you always plan to use me as your host?
No. I had hoped it would not come to that. I had hoped to spare you what Clover suffered. Hers was a harsh path that ended in tragedy. It is not an easy path to choose. It is not a small thing I ask of you to do. To sacrifice.
That's a lot to take in. That is absolutely a lot to take in. It's gonna be heartbreaking. But she has no choice. The fate of Equestria is in her hands.
Who you are, to let me grow inside you.
Apple Bloom felt the truth of these words. Her heart ached, torn between the love she had for her friends and family, the memory of those who had fought so hard, and the fear that gripped her every time the rot brushed against her mind. It had manipulated her already with just this brief exposure. Could this be the same? Could she be tricked into accepting this new tree into her, only to lose herself, just like the others had to the rot and the current Tree of Harmony? But then she thought of the Everfree, of Ponyville, of the school overrun with vines, and the Castle of Friendship collapsing under the failsafe spell. The Tree of Harmony's corruption had taken so much and so many. She remembered the roots growing from Sunburst's hooves, twisting into his body, taking away his will, his mind. She thought of Zecora, fighting so hard to remain herself so she could help Apple Bloom. She thought of Starlight Glimmer, destroying her own mind and body to try to keep from hurting her loved ones. And she thought of Twilight and Applejack, who had both sacrificed themselves to keep her safe so she could get help. Well, now she was the help. She could not let the tree hurt anyone else. Not ever again. She could feel it now. The presence of the seed, warm and gentle in her mind. Could she trust it? Could she be sure she was not just falling for the same tricks the current tree had used? The seed's voice was quiet and steady.
As a wise pony once told me, bravery is not about being certain you are doing the right thing. It is about choosing to do something and then following through on your choice. I have nothing to give to convince you but my word. I will not deceive you, Apple Bloom, but I need you to trust me. Mutual trust is the only way this symbiosis can work. That is the key to harmony.
Order HughesNet now and get a $200 prepaid card via rebate. Hurry, offer ends soon.
From our tradition to yours, Stonefire. Together, we none.
Apple Bloom closed her eyes, feeling the weight of her decision. Pain made her failing body tremble. Or were those convulsions? She could hear the whispers of the rot in the back of her mind, still feel the pull of its corruption drawing her down. She wanted to run. She wanted to scream and throw herself into the river, to escape the impossible weight of the decision. But she couldn't. There was nowhere to go. With a long, slow breath, she spoke.
I hope this is the right choice.
What are you doing? No, this isn't possible. No, no, no!
The world around Apple Bloom seemed to fade away. The branches, the earth, the ever-present darkness of the Everfree, all of it melting into the quiet hum of the voice inside her. She was no longer just Apple Bloom. She was something else. Something new.
This isn't fair. I sacrificed so much, and ponies didn't even care. They won't care about you either. They'll forget you too. They'll use you up and cast you aside and forget you ever existed until they need something from you again. They'll take, never give anything back. It will happen to you too, you stupid little...
The old tree screamed. It sounded like a mare in desperate agony. And then, for the first time in a long while, Apple Bloom felt peace settle over her. She was filled with a sense of rightness. Was it truly the right path? Or was she just another lost soul being used as a pawn in a game of primal magic far older than any mortal pony could understand? It was too late to tell. Apple Bloom faded into golden nothingness. Twilight blinked, vision blurry. The world around her spun in jagged, violent angles. Darkness clung to the edges like encroaching mold. Or rot. She gasped, her whole body locked up in pain. A thin whimper leaked from between her clenched teeth. Celestia would be ashamed to hear her #1 student make a noise like that.
Celestia.
Twilight's limbs felt like they were made of stone. She chose to lay where she was, waiting for her scattered thoughts to settle back into some kind of sense. She was alive. Barely. Her body felt like it had been torn apart and put back together again by an eldritch divinity who knew about organs and limbs and skeletons, but not how they all fitted together. The faintest rustling of hooves drew her attention. Through bleary eyes, she saw several ponies approach. Some part of her knew she should ready a spell to keep them back, but when she tried to pull on her inner magic reserve, she found it empty. She had never been completely empty before. Even when she had fought Tirek to a standstill and had to give up her alicorn power, a patina of unicorn magic had remained to remind her of what she had lost, like blood shadow on dirt to show where a body had fallen. Blood. Body. Fallen.
Rarity.
You're awake.
The voice that spoke was tentative. It belonged to a burly blue earth pony who looked down at Twilight with concern. She vaguely recognized him from her time in Ponyville. His name plopped into her mind with a light tug on her memory. Noteworthy.
We weren't sure you would. Wake up, I mean.
Can you move, Princess?
Asked an orange earth pony with a bunch of carrots for a cutie mark. Carrot Top? Golden Harvest? Her name refused to arrive as easily as Noteworthy's had. Twilight remembered that the mare was a carrot farmer whose farm bordered Sweetapple Acres, and that she and Applejack had a friendly rivalry about which crop was better.
Applejack.
Sudden clarity sluiced through Twilight. She remembered seeing Applejack jump from the castle window. She remembered the thorn growing from her friend's hoof, catching her own wing. She remembered the rot. She remembered her promise. She remembered getting Applebloom into the tunnel and facing down Rarity. She remembered the failsafe. She remembered being buried under the castle rubble. And then... nothing. How was she still alive? Panic suffused her at the nearness of these ponies. They needed to get away from her before the rot touched them too. She tried to speak, but her throat refused to work properly.
Get away. Rots.
You can't cut corners, you can't slack.
There is no rot, Princess,
said a pale mare behind Noteworthy, her usually bouffant mane now hanging around her face in greasy curls. It took Twilight a moment to recognize Bonbon, an earth pony who used to take as much pride in her appearance as Rarity, if not more. Now, she looked so bedraggled, it was hard to imagine she was the same pony.
Not anymore.
Twilight blinked at her.
What?
It's all gone. Glowed a bit, then crumbled to ash and just blew away.
Noteworthy's face crinkled with apprehension.
We've been trying to keep you safe since we found you in the wreckage of the Castle of Friendship. Alicorns sure are sturdier than regular pony folk.
His chuckle died away, and he cleared his throat.
We figured you might know what's going on. We got you patched up best we could, but, you didn't wake up for so long, and we couldn't find anyone else,
No pony else in Ponyville was left alive.
The carroty mare finished for him.
We're all that's left.
We buried everyone we found,
Bonbon muttered. Her eyes travelled to a grey Pegasus mare who looked so dazed she was almost insensate. Twilight recognized Derpy Hooves, the local mail mare who used to drop into Golden Oak's library for Spike's freshly baked breakfast muffins. She was always so cheerful. Now, her bereft expression and Bonbon's next words chilled Twilight to her bone marrow.
Especially any children.
But those the rot had taken over when it crumbled away.
Noteworthy trailed off.
The rot disappeared, Princess.
It wasn't pretty,
the carroty mare said grimly. She indicated Twilight's wing.
You can imagine.
Though moving her neck made her head ache, Twilight looked at her wing. She stifled a gasp. Her wing was gone. It ended at its first joint, where Applejack had caught her when the rot had first entered her body. The featherless stump had been bandaged, but it was still a shocking sight.
We used the first aid kit we found in Sugar Cube Corner,
the carroty mare said briskly.
Not like the ponies in there needed it anymore.
Carrot Top?
What? It's true!
Twilight took the exposed nerve of her grief and smothered it in practicality. She was alive. That meant there was work to do. She could deal with her grief later. She surveyed the tiny cluster of ponies around her. 5 ponies in various states of disarray. So there had been a few survivors after all. A very few. Maybe she should have sent Applebloom to them instead of sending her off alone. She hoped the little filly was not amongst those these ponies had buried.
Here, Your Highness.
Noteworthy held a cracked cup to her mouth and gently let her lap at the water inside. It tasted a little brackish, but not poisonous, and it eased Twilight's aching throat.
Thank you for saving me, but I have no idea why the rot is gone.
We think it maybe has something to do with that.
Bonbon pointed. Twilight followed her gaze. A shaft of bright light pierced upward from the Everfree forest, which, Twilight realized, had withdrawn from Ponyville and now barely hugged its borders. The ground was churned where now absent roots had broken through. There was no black moss anywhere.
I don't know what that is.
Twilight tried to get to her feet and failed utterly.
But I should check it out.
Hold on there, Princess. You're too weak to move, you're injured, you haven't eaten since we found you, and we only managed to get a little water into you besides what you just drank.
I have to see what it is.
Twilight gritted.
In case it's a threat. I'm the Princess of Equestria. It's my duty to keep its citizens safe.
What's left of us?
Carrot Top!
What?
I need to go.
The words dragged themselves up from Twilight's dry throat.
Celestia and Lunar... they're gone. I don't even... We lost contact with the Crystal Empire.
Fresh grief pierced her. She shook her head as if that could shake it off too.
I'm the only Alicorn left in Equestria. Maybe at all. I have to see what's going on. If it's a threat, I have to neutralize it.
You're too weak to even stand up.
Carrot Top snapped. Twilight was about to argue with her when she went on.
So, we'll make a leaf litter and pull you along. You aren't going into that Celestia Forsaken Forest alone, even if you are the only Alicorn princess left.
Twilight could do nothing to stop them as they did exactly that. The 5 survivor ponies huddled around and carefully transferred her onto a hastily made leaf litter.
Guess who has toys at great prices you'll love? From Disney and Lego to Melissa and Doug. Now guess who has toys that make wishes come true? The answer is simple. It's Walmart. Who knew?
Why should I be framed? I am never the same, but I am always myself.
Paradox, the new refillable parfum by Prada.
The one unicorn amongst them, whom Twilight recognized as the mute musician Vinyl Scratch, used her magic to make Twilight comfortable. Then they dragged her along, sometimes nudging her back onto the litter when she almost rolled off. It was not a comfortable journey, but it beat trying to walk in her current condition. All around was evidence of the rot's intrusion and sudden disappearance. Rocks lay at odd angles where they had been ripped up and tossed by thorny vines that were now nothing but dust. The landscape pitched and tilted. The animals of the Everfree were curiously silent as they passed. Many trees were half collapsed, where ponies infested with rot who had fused into them had crumbled away. Their bones gleamed like thrown knives in one of Trixie's stunt acts, too embedded in the wood to bury. Twilight recognized pieces of mares and stallions she had known when she lived in Ponyville. She managed to hold it together despite all the bodies she was dragged past. But when she started spotting students from the School of Friendship, she could not stop her tears from falling.
I'm sorry,
she thought.
I'm sorry I couldn't save you. I'm sorry I wasn't enough. I'm sorry you came here to the school I founded only to die so far away from your homes. I'm sorry I couldn't fix this.
If the ponies dragging her litter noticed her tears, they studiously did not comment on it. When they passed the remains of a tiny foal who was not even out of diapers yet, she noticed Carrot Top wiping surreptitiously at her own eyes and trying to pretend she wasn't. Derpy did not bother to try to hide her tears. She wept openly and freely, great gulping sobs snapping into the quiet air. Bon Bon tried to comfort her, but when they passed a mint green haunch and hoof, unattached to the rest of its disintegrated body, she looked stricken and stopped talking. The closer they got to the shaft of light, the more the air seemed to hum with a strange, eerie energy. Twilight's eyes narrowed as she looked to the sky, away from the bodies, following their progress. She realized where they were going.
This is the way to the castle of the two sisters.
Was the light the Tree of Harmony? Had it been healed somehow? Were Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash's bodies still stuck to it like decorations on a hearth-warming tree? She shook her head again. Information gathering now, grief later. Guilt always. As they neared the castle, the terrain became the most uneven yet, as if the ground here had been another battlefield between two unicorns firing magical blasts at each other to create burnt rumples in the earth, limned with a shimmering, ethereal glow. It was all around the castle, which was more destroyed than when Twilight had last seen it. The shaft of light emanated from inside. This close, they could hear the faint hum and feel the static of powerful magic.
I don't think we can pull the leaf litter over that ground, Princess.
Noteworthy opined.
I need to get inside.
Twilight narrowed her eyes at the light. The magic of it felt familiar somehow. She tried to stand again. Again, she fell to her belly with a raspy cry.
Don't freaking kill yourself at this stage!
Carrot Top snapped.
Here, let me carry you.
I'll do it,
said Noteworthy.
You're not strong enough.
I'm a farmer. I literally have more muscle in one hoof than you do in your whole body, musician.
She snapped back.
Please don't fight,
Twilight begged.
Now is not the time for fighting.
Vinyl Scratch and Bonbon draped Twilight over Carrot Top's back. She, Noteworthy, and the other ponies crept over the ruined ground and rubble to reach the inner courtyard of the old castle. At the center of it all stood the Tree of Harmony, radiant and pure. Twilight gaped, slack-jawed. This was not the twisted nightmare she had last seen, nor was it the immense magical treehouse it had been prior to that. It was not even the imposing crystalline thing Sombra had destroyed. Now, the Tree of Harmony shone with golden white light that shot up into the sky like a beacon. Its branches fanned around it, golden and shining, pulsing with the same, almost familiar power Twilight had sensed outside. Embedded in the center of the tree's trunk was the broken body of Applebloom. Her twisted, contorted form was folded into the very heart of the tree, fused so thoroughly that it was impossible to tell where she ended and the tree began. Her chest did not rise or fall. Unlike the other ponies they had passed, who had become part of trees, Applebloom had not been released when the rot vanished.
I know that filly,
said Carrot Top in dawning dismay.
Her sister was my biggest rival.
She's so small,
Derpy breathed.
Just a little baby. Like my Dinky.
She fell to weeping again.
She was supposed to be safe.
Twilight hitched.
I sent her away to be safe. How is she here?
God damn it!
Hey, where are you? I'm on my way.
From our tradition to yours, Stonefire. Together, we non.
Everyone took an involuntary step back when Applebloom opened her eyes. They shone with golden light that blotted out her usual amber irises.
Applebloom!
The cry evicted a cough from Twilight's throat.
Twilight Sparkler.
Every hair on Twilight's body stood on end. The voice was Applebloom's, and yet not. The words were soft, melodic, and full of warmth, but there was something unnerving beneath the surface. Applebloom smiled.
We was hoping you'd come. We felt that your mind weren't part of the rot when we dissolved it. So we hoped and sent out the light to guide you and any pony else who might be left. We see you brought survivors. You always did know what to do, even when you didn't.
I don't...
Twilight hacked up another cough.
I don't understand. What happened to you?
We ain't what we were. And we ain't what we need to be. Not yet. We know you don't understand, Twilight. But you will. We didn't understand it first neither. We thought it'd be easy to do what needed to be done, to stop the old Tree of Harmony. But we was wrong. You see, it ain't easy at all. It's plumb difficult, in fact.
Old Tree of Harmony?
Noteworthy echoed.
What does she mean, Princess?
Sunburst and Starlight did find the answer after all, Twilight. They just couldn't bring it to you in time. The old tree knew its time was coming to an end. It blamed Pony Kind for that. Thought ponies had betrayed their connection with nature by building cities and inviting creatures from other lands to live in this one. It thought they ruined Harmony. It thought they were insulting the sacrifices it made for them and wanted them to pay for its pain with their own. But it was wrong. Everything has an end eventually. Everything dies. That's how it has to go. That's the harmony between life and death. You can't have one without the other. The old tree didn't want to accept that.
So when it sensed a new seed in the world that was to grow its replacement,
it tried to tip the balance all one way and stay alive indefinitely by using up more lives and magic. It felt like it had a right to do that because ponies had betrayed it. We gotta right that balance back the way it should be now. But we can't do it alone. We ain't strong enough alone.
The voice whispered into Twilight's mind, brushing softly against her brain like the memory of a hug.
We've grown so strong. But we need you to help us grow as much as we need to. Otherwise, we won't be able to put right what the old tree put wrong. We can't achieve harmony without cooperation.
Twilight's tears fell as freely as Derpy's now. Her heart ached.
Apple Bloom, I'm so sorry. You've become part of this thing. I promised Applejack I'd protect you, and I failed.
One of the tree's branches arched down in a graceful sweep, stroking golden leaves against her face. She felt Carrot Top stiffen beneath her, but the earth pony seemed frozen in fear? Or both?
We ain't the Rock. And we ain't truly Apple Bloom no more. We're something new. Something better.
Something shifted inside Twilight at the touch of the leaves. A warm, undeniable comfort. She closed her eyes as a strange, overwhelming peace flooded her heart. It was love, pure and simple, and yet it felt like the rot had when it wanted to get inside her mind.
No!
Twilight struggled. She tumbled from Carrot Top's back and landed in a heap on the ground.
Get away from us! Every pony run! It's trying to get inside our minds just like the rot!
But the 5 survivors did not run. They all seemed as frozen in awe as Twilight had been. Apple Bloom's smile became sad.
We are not the rot, Twilight.
Get out of my head!
We won't go where we ain't wanted. But remember,
you were the one to guide Apple Bloom in her magical education in the past.
She trusted you. We trust you. We need you now. We need you to help us grow. You're the Princess of Friendship, right? You know all about harmony.
Carrot Top stared up at Apple Bloom. Her eyes were glossy with unshed tears. The yearning practically dripped from her voice.
I want to join Harmony so much.
Apple Bloom smiled beatifically down at her.
And so you will.
If that's what you want.
We don't go where we ain't welcome.
You'll have to be willing to become a part of Harmony.
I'm willing. I want it.
No. What?
Guess who has tons of the best toys and more?
The enormous branch curled around the mare, gentle but firm, until she vanished from sight. A deep sigh echoed through the air. The branch contracted, as if swallowing Carrot Top. A pulse of golden magic travelled up its length. It uncurled, revealing an empty space where Carrot Top had stood. When the branch retracted upwards, a glowing orange gemstone was now embedded in it. The entire tree glowed a little brighter at this addition. Twilight gaped. Noteworthy stepped forward.
I want it too.
He said in a slightly dazed voice.
I want to belong.
No, stop!
Twilight wheezed.
Don't!
If that's what you want.
It is. I want to be part of harmony.
Another branch dipped to encircle him. It constricted tight around his body. Twilight swore she heard his bones breaking under the hum of magic. When the branch rose, a deep blue gem shone at its tip. The tree grew brighter still.
Don't! Don't!
Despite her cries, one by one, the remaining 3 survivors stepped forward and were enclosed in the glowing golden branches. Derpy was still crying and calling her dead daughter's name as she was encircled, only stopping when it tightened with a muffled wet crunch. Bonbon smiled like she could think of no better fate, while Vinyl Scratch wore a sadder version of the enigmatic smile she used to wear when playing concerts in town with her cellist mare friend. When the branches digested her to become a bright purple gem, it left her sunglasses behind on the ground. They stared at Twilight accusingly. Soon, only Twilight remained. She lay in the dirt, staring up at Apple Bloom and the apparently new Tree of Harmony of which she had become part. Apple Bloom smiled radiantly down at her, surrounded by swaying branches and their glowing gemstones.
How about it, Twilight?
I don't trust.
Twilight struggled to say. Her mind felt foggy, like she was only just waking up again. It was hard to think. She stared at the sunglasses on the ground, like that might make it easier.
You don't trust Harmony, Twilight? But we thought you was always the biggest supporter of Harmony. You were an element of Harmony, weren't you? The element of magic, right?
Element... magic.
Twilight repeated. She shook her head.
The elements are gone.
They don't gotta be. All we need is a little power and life to make them anew. We're a whole new Tree of Harmony, Twilight Sparkle.
And it's a whole new world.
It'll contain whole new threats, and it'll need whole new heroes. We can't bring back what was lost, but we can safeguard the future. Ain't that what you swore to do as the Princess of Equestria?
If you're worried about the sun and moon, don't worry.
You ain't gonna die.
You're just evolving.
You can still raise and lower the sun and moon from within Harmony.
Things will still happen as they should for the next generation.
Twilight's breath caught in her chest. There was something insidious about the voice's warmth, something buried beneath that peaceful tone that portended more than the surface suggested. But she could not pull away. She could not even look away as the branches retracted, glowed, and opened out into 5 bright, shining gems. They did not look like the elements of Harmony, not her elements, but that was clearly what they were.
Please, Twilight. We need you.
A branch descended. Its shadow fell over Twilight. Her jaw worked. Her gaze stuttered.
I don't.
A tear trickled down her cheek.
Please. want this.
Apple Bloom's soft amber eyes emerged from the golden glow. She spoke with her own ordinary voice.
You were supposed to protect me, Twilight. You promised Applejack you'd protect me. Well, I'm right here. What better way to protect me than this? You'll be right here with me. You don't want to break your promise, do you?
My promise.
I need you to say the words, Twilight.
I want to be part of Harmony.
Introducing a new budget-friendly plan for just $39.99 a month for 12 months. Get HughesNet today.
As the light from the tree bathed her in its glow, Twilight felt her doubts slip away. Maybe she was making a mistake. Maybe this was just another trap, another cycle of parasitic growth. But for now, she could not bring herself to care. She opened her eyes, feeling the light and love, and wondered if Equestria would be saved or consumed by this new force. Would it be their salvation or their doom?
We will guide Equestria to true harmony, Twilight Sparkle. Make no mistake about that.
You could understand if you just stopped fighting and let yourself. It's not corruption, it's clarity.
I think I finally understand, Rarity.
In that moment, Twilight let go of her fears, surrendering to the plant's warmth, and felt, for the first time in what felt like forever, the sensation of being wholly and completely loved. So in sync with the universe that there was no beginning and no end. No bones breaking, no organs splitting, no crystallizing skin or reforming of her mortal body. Just complete and utter belonging. Harmony.
I'm sitting on the edge of the ocean, and I'm seeing all the bright stars. So please try to that you are
I think this is the first that actually got me broken into tears. Like, holy shit. It was absolutely fucking good. I absolutely love it. This was a different kind of take on AU infection. That doesn't involve zombies. Well, it's sort of like zombies, but we don't have like infected zombie ponies eating people's flesh. The whole entire production is absolutely really good. No, fuck that. It was absolutely phenomenal. The voice acting is absolutely good. I didn't even know I could be wrong. Is it Muscript that's voicing Twilight? I thought it was her name isn't Vladdy. It's not Vladdy voice. It's I forgot her name. Cedwin, if I'm pronouncing her username correctly. I thought it was her that did Twilight Sparkle's voice in this production. Doing Twilight Sparkle's voice. That wasn't actually that bad. Oh. Also, I found my glasses. It was on my leg. I didn't even feel it was on my leg. Oh my fucking god! I'm emotionally broken right now. The whole entire production is good. The video is absolutely phenomenal. The cast and crew did a phenomenal job. I absolutely love this story. This story is good. It was very impactful to me in a disturbing and shocking way. Not in a bad way, but in a good way. I give it a 10 out of 10. It was absolutely really good. I am not feeling myself right now. I need to take a break. Shit. If you like this reaction and if you wanted to listen to this whole entire production, the link is going to be in the description below. This was absolutely emotionally very good. I'm gonna take a moment to myself for a while. I am so emotionally I wouldn't say hurt, but emotionally broken at the very moment. So yeah. If you want to check, so I always say that. So with that said, I'm 8th Flame and catch y'all in the next video.